Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome. My name is Terry Toomey and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for today. This conferring ceremony is streaming live on the internet, so if there's anybody who couldn't make it today and they'd like to log on, you could text them now and let them know. A couple of housekeeping items before we begin. Firstly, fire exits. There are 7 fire exits from this auditorium, 2 in each of the glass walls to the side, 1 to the left of the stage, 1 to the right of the stage, and 1 at the back where you came in earlier on. And I suppose the second item is the mobile phones. Thanks for that cue. Before we begin the formal proceedings, could you please switch off all mobile phones? Thank you. The formal proceedings commence with the academic procession. I invite you now to please stand for the academic procession. Please be seated. I will begin by introducing the members of the conferring panel to you. To my right is Councillor Mary Jackman, Vice Chairperson of the governing body of Limerick Institute of Technology. In the centre is Dr. Maria Hinfelar, President of Limerick Institute of Technology. And finally, Mr. Mike Fitzpatrick, Head of Limerick School of Art and Design. I now call on Councillor Mary Jackman, Vice Chairperson of the governing body of Limerick Institute of Technology, to address you.
Delighted to be here, and you're all very, very welcome. I welcome you, as I say, with great pleasure to the 2013 LIT conferring ceremonies. The conferring of all awards is the highlight of the Institute's academic year because it acknowledges the academic achievement of each graduate during their time at LIT. It's also an acknowledgement, as well as an acknowledgement of the personal and professional development of the graduate, as well as the faithful support of family and friends who are obviously here with you today. This has culminated in today, where each graduate receives a parchment for the award conferred. You can reflect today on the friends you have made, the independence and confidence you have developed, and how you use your new knowledge, skills and qualifications to make a positive contribution to your community, your country, and of course to your own personal development and professional career. You may also reflect on the challenging times in which we live. Challenging times call for exceptional people to motivate, to become leaders, entrepreneurs and architects of the future of our country. As graduates of the Limerick Institute of Technology, you are exceptional. You have acquired new knowledge and new skills. On behalf of the Institute, your family and friends, I ask you today to rise to the challenge and use your new qualifications to make a difference to the world around you. Congratulations again on your achievement today. This may be your first third-level award or another significant achievement in your professional career. Remember, we live in an era of lifelong learning. This institute offers many add-ons, upskilling or reskilling opportunities. The Institute staff are proud to have the opportunity to facilitate your more recent third-level academic experience. And on graduating today, you join a substantial body of Institute alumni who are to be found throughout the world. On behalf of the Institute, I wish you well in your future and indeed in further studies for your future. Thank you.
I now call on Mr. Mike Fitzpatrick, Head of Limerick School of Art and Design, to address you.
Vice Chairperson, members of the governing body, President, Vice President, academic colleagues, parents, friends, patrons, sponsors, and most importantly, you, the graduates. Welcome to you all. I wish to address you on three interwoven themes. Briefly, I might add. You, the school, and the importance of creativity in society. However, before we do that, I would like to ask you to stand for a moment, just the graduates today, just to stand for a moment. And basically, just because you're worth it, and you've worked really hard, could you give yourself a good big round of applause? Okay. Now, while you're still standing, and that was a decent round of applause, but can you give an even bigger one for your families and friends, the people that brought you here? Thank you very much. Well done. Thank you. I'm pretty happy today. Most of you began your studies in 2009, and I also, particularly people who did the BA in Fine Art and Design, and I also arrived in 2009. Arrived here in August, and Tracy Fahey, Head of Fine Art and Head of Graduate Studies, arrived shortly thereafter. And so we too feel that we've actually completed a full cycle, and we're kind of moving towards graduation. A little bit slower, but we're getting there. Just not to leave out James Greenslade. James Greenslade, Head of Design, arrived to us just last year, and I can safely say that he's passed successfully into second year, and we didn't even have to adjust the 50% pass rate, so well done, James. Limerick School of Art and Design has been around since 1852. And the only thing that's been constant has been change. Let us focus for a moment on recent changes for the school. Today, as you can see, there are 215 LSAD students graduating from 11 programmes. The vast majority of you graduate from BA degrees in Fine Art and Design programmes. In 2009, the year you began your studies, 155 students graduated. So from 7 programmes. So as you can see, there are more of you graduating, emerging from different strands, now both postgraduate and undergraduate, as well as the 6 unique disciplines in Fine Art and Design, the HDIP for Art and Design Teachers, we now have the third iteration of MA Space, Social Practice and the Creative Environment. We have 3 MAs by Research here today. And for the first time, we have graduates from LSAD Clonmel. And even more uniquely for an art school, these graduates will be conferred with higher certs in design and Bachelors of Science degrees. So LSAD has grown in scale, numbers of offerings, geographic locations, and I suppose crucially in ambition. Taking on the programmes in Clonmel has been a great challenge and a tremendous boost for us. We have a fantastic, committed group of staff and students. They are only matched by the staff and students that are here in Clare Street across the way. The highlight of any academic year in an art school is walking through the end-of-year shows. It's a really special moment, seeing the culmination of all the thought, the activity, the hard work funnelled into a single body of work. It really is wonderful, the many thought-provoking and creative solutions that fill the studios in each of the disciplines, in painting, sculpture, print, ceramics, fashion and visual communications. However, this year I had the pleasure of attending an end-of-year exhibition in Clonmel and seeing the range of creative projects evident there and the buzz of excitement attached to that. It was at that moment I fully realised the excellent fit of the Clonmel programmes within the LSAD school and foregrounds the goal of making Clonmel a dynamic centre for creative media in the national context. Last year saw incremental growth and achievement in many areas for LSAD. For example, LIT as an institution in recent years has taken a strategic action to develop our international engagement. As part of that, LSAD's International Development Programme included becoming the first Irish institution to participate in the London Fashion Graduate Week. We hosted our first summer school of fine art students from Florida University last summer, and the National Centre for Design and Product Development, based in New Delhi, invited my fellow head of school, Pascal Meehan from Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, and myself to India to carry out research and report to the Ministry for Textiles on the craft clusters in India. Also, LSAD students continue to be the largest group in LIT to take advantage of the Erasmus study and work placement programmes abroad. This year also saw George's Quay reactivated in terms of art and design students, and now over 50 students began year 2 of the new BA disciplines in photography and lens-based media and in animation and motion design. In connection with that growth, the planned phase of capital development on the Clare Street campus continues. And we are also hopeful that the first enterprise centre to emanate from LSAD, IFIL, the Irish Fashion Incubator Limerick, will open at a city centre location during 2014. Change is an essential element in an educational context, and I wish to take this opportunity to formally thank the staff of LSAD for leading that change, and also to thank the executive team of the President Maria Hinfler, Vice Presidents Terry Toomey, Jimmy Brown, Fergal Barry and Michael O'Connell for guiding that change. However, it is the students of any educational institution who really drive change. Now, I suppose on a more serious and on a serious and a much more personal note, the recent past has held a particular sadness for the school. The untimely death of Kieran Marr, following a very short illness, was both a great shock and a loss to the school. Kieran's incredible service and determination as head of art and design teaching in the school over the last 30 years was outstanding, and we will strive to honour his memory. Already proposals have been brought to my attention of potential awards in Kieran's name, one of which has been put forward by LSAD graduates involved in Creative Limerick. However, today is about you, the graduates, and the parchments you will receive shortly acknowledging your academic achievements. Let's focus for a moment on your creativity and the skills gained while here in college, and to consider the possibilities of your future engagement and enrichment of our culture, our society and our economy. As graduates here today with your friends and families, it's important to imagine how your creativity matters to all of us. We usually treat creativity as either individual, singular, or socio-cultural, the model of the creative genius artists versus the model where creative industries, where you have teams of creative people who work together feeding off each other's ideas and actions. But as explored by Vlad Petr Gavinow in the Journal for the Theory of Social Behaviour, entitled Creativity as Cultural Participation, he views creative expression as also a form of cultural expression, and ultimately one of the most illustrative forms of cultural participation. Engaging with cultural artefacts to produce new cultural artefacts, employing culture to generate culture. This illustrates the concept that we have to have an active creative society. We must be both consumers and performers. Creativity and culture are never static, and your potentiality as creatives, and I mean artists, designers, curators, cultural practitioners, is vital to all of our lives. In speaking of culture, we are delighted that Limerick has been designated as Ireland's first National City of Culture in 2014, and LSAD and its graduates can be very proud of the role we have played in making that designation possible. On next Monday, 4th of November, the official launch of the programme for City of Culture will take place. Numerous interactions with staff, students and graduates of LSAD will take place over this year, and it will add to the legacy of the school, the city and the region. For example, it's exciting to note that Richard Moss, Ireland's representative at the Venice Biennale, will be presented at Ormston House in 2014 during City of Culture. Ormston House is one of the many creative Limerick spaces that has been initiated and led by students and graduates of LSAD. And speaking of events and cultural activities, 3 for your diary. On the second weekend of June next year, during the run of the shows, I'd like to invite you all back. We're having, for the very first time, a concept called the LSAD Big Weekend, where we're inviting the 5,500 alumni since 1976 to return, and I suppose and have a kind of a weekend which will be a visual art and design feast and also a bit of crack. The second event, I know you're kind of taken up today with possibly dinners, some parties, possibly some cocktails, but there's a wonderful event this evening in Faber Studios. It's an exhibition it's an exhibition called Rev, and it's led by the students of the MA in Art and Design Education, this year's cohort in midstream in their year 2, and that's taking place at 6, so you might be able to squeeze that in as well. And finally, the last event that I know probably some of you are involved in, for the first time ever, we're hosting the IDI Awards on Wednesday next week, Wednesday evening, so maybe we'll see you at that. It's kind of great to have the IDI Awards based in LSAD. So finally, I'd like to wish you well. I encourage you to go forth as confident cultural practitioners, and I look forward to hearing of your many successes in the vast arena of creative activities within art, design, creative media, and all of the creative and related cultural industries. Thank you.
I now call on Mr. Mike Fitzpatrick to formally confer the LIT Awards on the graduates.
Harcown Institute Technoliachta Limerick, Brum Davaktini, the Institute Faulimori on the Institute, August Iram Ort, on Tuchtron, a Quidfar, a Herbert, Gorfar Mole, do the Hirahori, eg Irie Low. On behalf of Limerick Institute of Technology, I hereby confer the awards of LIT on the students of the Institute, and I would ask you, President, to present their parchments formally to the successful candidates. I now call on the course leaders from the Department of Fine Art, Department of Design and LSED Clonmel to announce their students. Painting. So, coming forward first is Anya Nigilakode from the Department of Fine Art.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed the courses in the Department of Fine Arts, School of Art and Design and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Fine Art Painting, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Cleana Barry. Kathleen Bartlett. Laura Conroy. Lindwy Crampton in abstentia. Beatrice Foley in abstentia. Catherine Geoghegan. Patricia Taylor. Saif Harney in abstentia. Laura Jordan. Denise Joy Murphy. Emma Keegan. John Lee. Tim Moran. Jessica Moynihan. Jacinta Murphy. Orla Nivruak. Maeve Cadla in abstentia. Michaela O'Connell. Joanne O'Malley. John O'Shea. Jack O'Sullivan. Hazel Restrick. Amy Ring. Marta Sott. Gillian Stack. Kiva Stanley. Chetana Sund. Aoife Tierney. Angela Vaughan. And Assumpta Wallace.
Now, fine art printmaking.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the Department of Fine Arts, School of Art and Design and are worthy of the Bachelor of Arts in Fine Art Printmaking, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Owen Barry. Emma Bayliss. Niamh Brennan, Rachel Burns, Mela Cahill, Jessica Cody, Colleen Conway, Naoma Curry in absentia, Amy Ford, Donald Gould, Seamus Harty, Emer Hickey, Ciara Kelly, Dara Kettle, Charlotte Lee, Laura Maloney, Lisa Manton, Caitlin Martin, Kurt Martin, Barry Masterson, Claire McFadden, Cheryl Murphy, Craig O'Riordan, David Mulland, Rowena Quill, Hayley Ryan, Joanna Thompson, Cayman Walsh, Isabella Walsh.
Sculpture and Combined Media.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses Department of Fine Arts, School of Art and Design, and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Arts Honours in Fine Arts, Sculpture and Combined Media. And I request to present their parchments to them. Liam Brannan, Stephen Brooks, Holly Bernard, Rachel Clary, Eleanor Condon, James Conroy, Ashley Harper, Melissa Hillard in absentia, Emma Johnson, Caroline Keane, Andrea Kerr, Thomas Lyons, Celine Meha in absentia. William Murray. Kieran Nash. Kira Nolan. Joanna O'Dwyer. Padraig O'Hora. Deborah O'Reilly. Katie O'Reilly. Ailish Slevin.
Department of Design. You're at BizCom.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the Department of Design, School of Art and Design, and are worthy of the award Bachelor of Arts Honours in Design and Visual Communications, and I request that you present their parchments to them. Arlene Burke. Adam Bro. Jeffrey Carmody. Grace Coakley. Mairead Connolly. Martina Dunn. Jennifer Gleeson. Bridie Halliday Cigar. Katrina Hannon. Emer Hill in absentia. Chloe Hines. Sam Kean. Ian Malone. Marielle Mazan. Justin McCarthy. Michelle McCarthy. Mary McDermott. Kieran Murphy. Grania Murphy. Kerry O'Callaghan. Louise O'Doherty. Stephen O'Donnell. Brett O'Mahony in absentia. Louise O'Sullivan. Lucia Polyakova. Miriam Riond in absentia. Magdalena Schiller-Sather. Nora Sekerish. Nathan Toomey. Michelle Walsh. And Charlene Zabritsky.
Ceramic design.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the Department of Design, School of Art and Design, and are worthy of the award Bachelor of Arts Honours in Design, Ceramic Design, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Rachel Borland. Aisling Dowd, Eva Farkasova in absentia, Maeve Hawk, Kate Hegarty, Karen Hendy, Irina Kizim, Stephen Medrano Mathasin, Mary Kate McElroy, Anna Maloney, Keith Murray, Kira Nikulon in absentia, Sandra O'Brien, Anastasia Fatnika, Caroline Quinlan, Clara Ryan, Noel Ryan, Kim Ryle, Fiona Sherlock, Emma Shortall, Aoife Slattery, and Bridget Timoney.
And next is fashion design.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the Department of Design, School of Art and Design, and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Arts in Design, Fashion Design. And I request to you to present their parchments to them. Svetlana Andreets. Megan Brown. Hannah Campbell. Andrea Cullen. Lorraine Diamond. Stephen Foley. Sarah Hayes. Jessica Kavanagh. Catherine Kelly. Ciara Kilbride. Tatiana Lecoq-Coquerel. Hazel Mallon. Alison McAvoy. Orla McGarry. Lauren O'Reilly. Ashleen O'Riordan. Suzanne Rafus. Sarah Ryan.
And now for LSAD Clonmel.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the Limerick School of Art and Design, Clonmel, and are worthy of the award of Higher Certificate in Science in Creative Multimedia, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Aoife Duggan, in absentia. Martina Flanagan. Conor Finn. Martin Hayes, in absentia. James McCormick. Michael Malone. David O'Grady. And Keith Ryan, in absentia. President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses at the Limerick School of Art and Design, Clonmel, and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science in Creative Multimedia, and I request you present their parchments to them. Robert Ahern. Bird Hallett. Ross Bulger, in absentia. Patrick Broder. Adrian Fielding, in absentia. Paul Hackett. Daniel Kennedy. Ilona Cott. Mark Lynch. Bernadette Morrissey. And McGann Mooley, in absentia. President, to present you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the Limerick School of Art and Design, Clonmel, and are worthy of the award of Bachelor of Science Honours in Creative Multimedia, and I ask you to present their parchments to them. Orla Amos. Susan Cloonan. Niall Condon. And Laura Hobson.
Next is the Higher Diploma in Art for Art and Design teachers.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the School of Art and Design and are worthy of the award of Higher Diploma in Art for Art and Design teachers, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Lisa Jane Ahern. Sarah Bulger. Tony Breen. Claire Butler. Sarah Cadigan. Geraldine Cahill. Ciara Clifford. Marie Connell. Deirdre Grimes. Greg Hallahan. Damien Haw. Anna James, in absentia. Gillian Joyce. Margaret Kelly. Owen Lanigan. Michelle McCluskey. Colleen McGowan, Lorraine Myers, Helena O'Connell in absentia, Katie O'Halloran in absentia, Sarah O'Neill, Maximilian Olahan, Teresa Owens, Dale Phillips in absentia, Aidan Power, Leaden Ryan, Leanne Seal, Erin Walsh, and Megan Ward.
The next is MA by Research.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the School of Art and Design and are worthy of the award of MA by Research. And I request you to present their parchments to them. Mairead Neal. Nuala O'Sullivan. And Una Spain in absentia.
And next is MA Space.
President, I present to you the following candidates who have successfully completed courses in the School of Art and Design and are worthy of the award MA Social Practice and the Creative Environment, and I request you to present their parchments to them. Lottie Bender, in absentia. Lorna Flynn. Cronin Gray. Rio Maria McGonigal, Barry McHugh in extensia, Teresa Normo, Tricia O'Connor, Natalie Wustiker in absentia, Xiao Yang.
I now call on the President of Limerick Institute of Technology, Dr. Maria Hinfelar, to address you.
Vice Chair and members of the governing body, public representatives, general sponsors, graduates, parents, spouses, friends and relations, colleagues, academic, administrative, technical and support staff. I am delighted that you're all able to share in this happy occasion where we confer the awards on this year's successful candidates. This is a time for celebration. You've passed all the assignments and the exams and you now have the parchment to prove it. Congratulations. You should be filled with pride at this important milestone following all your hard work through long days and especially nights of studying and hard graft. I also thank the families and friends who've supported our graduates financially and emotionally through this phase of their lives. I'm sure in many ways it has been a team effort. So today is the day when you realise it's all been worth it. And I would like to also extend a warm welcome to our new chairman, Mr. Niall Green, who wasn't able to be here today, but as he was only appointed by the Minister for Education and Skills, Mr. Rory Quinn, a matter of barely 3 weeks ago. As you can imagine, there were maybe a few other things in his diary as well, but he was here yesterday, the day before yesterday, and he'll be here next week. Just a few words about our new chairman, Mr. Niall Green. He brings very extensive experience from the public sector and the private sector to LIT, having served in leadership roles with organisations as diverse as GPA in the aviation sector to the Youth Employment Agency. But also, interestingly, he's the current chairman of the Hunt Museum, which particularly, of course, the Limerick School of Art and Design works very closely with. So he knows us pretty well. And he's making a flying start because not only is he presiding over a few very busy days of conferring ceremonies this week, and we have another day to go next week in Thurles and Tipperary, he's also found the time already to pay visits to the various campuses of LIT. And he was at the School of Art and Design campus on Clare Street last Friday, I believe, so he was giving the guided tour, and I think he met quite a few of the staff and students. And I'm delighted with this very thorough approach. I look forward to working with him. And I think today Councillor Mary Jackman stood in for him exceptionally well. And she's always been she's been on the governing body for much longer than Niall Green, I must add. And every year, certainly throughout the last 5 years that she's been a member of this governing body, every year she has made a point of attending at least one of the graduation ceremonies, which I think is fantastic commitment. And I'd also like to pay tribute to the outgoing chairman, Mr. John Clifford, a man no less thorough and committed to LIT. And he was with us for a solid 5 years. Among many other developments, he oversaw the integration of the former Tipperary Institute into LIT, the Clonmel campus of LSAD now being also used to be part of that. And of course, he chaired countless graduation ceremonies too. So on behalf of all of us here, could I extend my heartfelt thanks to John for his many years of support and dedication to LIT, and wish him all the best for life after LIT. When you arrived on campus here today, if you were a regular visitor to the main campus, you might have noticed it looked a little bit different. One change that LIT is becoming more and more international, and you will have heard in the speech by the head of school, Mike Fitzpatrick, that the School of Art and Design also is beginning to extend its international footprint through contacts and students coming in from India, the US, and also many European countries, and of course outgoing international activity where our students go out on Erasmus programs. And we are marking that by along the street. When you come out of here, if you look up, you will see all the flags representing the 100 plus countries or so where we now have students from. And LIT is becoming more and more international in that regard. This year we have a very significant influx from Brazil, and also from Oman, and again from the US and India. So that's definitely on the increase. And I'm sure that having international students here brings an additional dimension to studying, both on campus and off campus. Another change you might notice certainly within the shorter term, but also in the longer term, is the look and feel of the place. As part of a very ambitious long-term campus master plan at LIT, we've set in motion a whole range of projects which aren't only about shiny brand new projects into the future, because the campus master plan will take us to 2030, but we're also making significant and immediate improvements to what we have today. Specifically for the School of Art and Design, at Clare Street, we have well advanced plans that will be progressed very shortly to create the inner courtyard, which you're all familiar with, where there is the tree. We're going to create that, turn it into a quad. We're going to put a roof over it, and that's going to provide additional space in terms of library space, which we will be able to decant in terms of study areas and so on. And that'll make a big difference. And at Clonmel, we've already made quite significant investments this year to support the Creative Multimedia and Digital Animation programme. That's been particularly through reconfiguration of classroom space, studio space, and of course the equipment to support the actual programmes themselves. And we know through feedback from students, both through the student surveys, through graduate destination surveys and through the student liaison committees, that it's very important to make sure that the learning environment remains modern, remains up to standard. We always get fantastic feedback about the programmes themselves, about the approachability of the staff, the quality of the programmes. The learning environment sometimes is difficult to keep pace with that, and that's really what we're now prioritising, because we need to listen to the feedback that we're getting. And what may well help is that as part of the revitalisation plans and economic regeneration plans for Limerick City, we will be part of a bid to the European Union for some funding to support the work that's going on here in Limerick City, where LIT is involved. Because, of course, the LIT campuses are very much part of the landscape and the fabric of the infrastructure in the city, and it's very important to keep on attracting the students and the quality that we see among this year's cohort of graduates of LSAD, and to safeguard that into the future by making sure that the facilities are also of that standard. And if successful, that will transform the place. So as LIT 2013 alumni, you'll be amazed when you return in years to come, maybe to attend conferring ceremonies of younger brothers and sisters or sons or daughters, and you will see how we are progressing with it. But it's not only about bricks and mortar. At LIT, we recognise the financial sacrifices that families are making in the current climate to support study in third level. And we also recognise that in spite of these sacrifices, it can still be a struggle to make ends meet. Our student services do an excellent job in helping students with their applications under the various state schemes. But we also have internal funds set aside every year so we can respond to urgent need. We do not wish to see students dropping out for financial reasons. We ultimately want to see every student get to a conferring ceremony who deserves to be there. In the last academic year, in agreement with the Student Union, we decided to transfer an additional €50,000 to this fund through savings we made elsewhere. And this year, on top of that, we're launching scholarships, thanks to a very generous donation from IPB, the insurers, to a total value of another €55,000. Eligibility criteria for these scholarships will be strict but fair, and I'm sure they'll make a huge difference to the recipients. But today, specifically, is a day to celebrate and to catch up with each other and reflect on your experience so far and your future plans. The LIT Graduate Destination Survey is published every year and presents detailed information about how our graduates are getting on. Your turn to complete the questionnaire will come in a few months' time, because we want to wait 5-6 months or so until you found your feet. The most recent survey just completed for the 2012 graduates was very encouraging. It showed that increasing numbers are going directly into employment or further studies. And in fact, some of our programmes saw a 100% success rate on that front. And I'm delighted to say that included 1 or 2 programmes from the School of Art and Design, both the Limerick campus and the Clonmel campus. So that is a wonderful testimony to the quality delivered by yourselves, by our graduates, and also by the staff. And just to add to everything that Mike was telling us about events happening during the year, in the upcoming year, and the graduate shows, which I fully agree are a very proud occasion, because that's really the time of the year in June when we can see the wonderful examples and wonderful pieces that have been produced and created in the final year of studies of our graduates. And we are continuously adding to the LIT special collection of works of art that we have purchased from some of the graduates. And this year I also personally purchased some works which are fantastic, and I thank Kathleen and Aisling for their wonderful creations and that are gracing my living room at home. So well done, and may many colleagues and perhaps people in the audience, I'd like to remind you that every year we have the graduate show. Every year there are these wonderful pieces that our graduates have produced over the year as their showcase, the final piece that they are delivering as part of their studies. And all the pieces are for sale, and it would be a wonderful start to someone's journey as a practicing artist that some of those pieces are purchased on that day. And that brings me really to the next topic, just briefly. I would reckon that there are quite a number of graduates amongst the cohort here today who are considering setting up their business. And we heard the head of school speak about the very well advanced plans to set up an enterprise centre in Limerick City, which we will call the Irish Fashion Incubator for Limerick. Now, clearly, fashion design will be one of the key focal points for the centre. But I think that the vision for the centre will probably evolve to embrace some of the other discipline areas as well. And of course, we know there are already many of you who have taken space in studio space in Limerick City. There are printmakers, there are graphic design graduates. We have graduates of our fine art discipline areas and many more. And they're all really finding their feet as artists, and through the studio spaces that they have taken, they are beginning to build a reputation for themselves, and through the exhibitions as well. So I would like to encourage you to keep an eye on the developments. The Irish Fashion Incubator will be actually the 6th enterprise centre that LIT has set up. We have one here on the main campus, which is called the Hartnett Centre. That's named after an LIT graduate from the School of Business who ended up in Silicon Valley 20 years ago, very successful, and is supporting the centre here today with us. We have other enterprise centres. There's one in Clonmel, where we've just turned the first sod, so that will be open by the end of next year. So the strategy that we have is to have enterprise centres co-located with all the campuses of LIT that will support graduates, but also other small businesses coming from the community to take space in the centre and to run their businesses from there. And we support them through help with their business plans, their marketing plans, their financial plans, etc. And that is certainly very successful. We've already created nearly 400 jobs through the various initiatives through these centres. So keep an eye on it, and we have graduate bursaries available as well. So clearly there would be opportunities for you. So finally, again, may I congratulate you on your achievements. Well done. We're very proud of you. We're very proud of everything that you are delivering. We're very proud to see maybe once a week, once a month, we keep hearing the good news about exhibitions and awards that are being won by both students and graduates of the School of Art and Design. And I can truly say that the School of Art and Design in Limerick and in Clonmel has a national and international reputation which is growing year on year. So congratulations and enjoy the day.
We come now to the Special Awards Ceremony for Outstanding Achievement, and I call on the Vice Chairperson of Governing Body and the President of LIT to assist with the awards. We begin with 3 awards from the Revenue Commissioners, presented by Anne Culhan from the Collector General's Office. The first of our Revenue Commissioners' awards is the Revenue Commissioners' Purchase Prize Award. The award is presented for overall excellence shown during the BA Honours degree in Fine Art Painting. And the award goes to Assumpta Wallace. The second of our Revenue Commissioners' Awards is presented for excellence shown during the BA Honours degree in Fine Art Painting. And we have 2 awards this year. And the recipients are Gillian Stack and John Lee. And the third Revenue Commissioners' Award, again for excellence shown during the BA Honours degree in Fine Art Painting, goes to Kiva Stanley. Our next award is the Ona O'Brien Kelly Memorial Award. This award will be presented by Brian Kelly. The Ona O'Brien Kelly Memorial Award is presented to the student who has accomplished excellence in figurative work. And this year's recipient is Jacintha Murphy. We have 2 awards from Limerick Printmakers. The first award is the Limerick Printmakers Award, presented by Ms. Tracy Fahy of LIT. The first of the Limerick Printmakers Award is for excellence shown on the BA Honours in Fine Art Printmaking. And there are 2 recipients, there's 1 recipient of this award. And the recipient is Owen Barry. The second of the Limerick Printmakers Awards is the Limerick Printmakers Bursary Award. This again is presented for excellence on the BA Honours in Fine Art, and there are 2 recipients of this award. And the recipients are Isabella Walsh and Jessica Cody. Our next award is the Cork Printmakers Residency Award. This will be presented by Valerie Byrne from Cork Printmakers. After the defeat to Clare, it's nice to see Cork back again. The Cork Printmakers Residency Award is for excellence shown on the BA Honours in Fine Art Printmaking. And the recipient is Emer Hickey. Our next award is the Faber Studios Award, presented by Amanda Dunsworth of LIT. The Faber Studios Award is for excellence shown on the BA Honours in Fine Art, Sculpture and Combined Media. And there are two recipients of this award. The Faber Studios Award goes to Padraig O'Hora and Thomas Lyons. Our next award is the National Sculpture Factory Residency Award, presented by Sean Taylor of LIT. The National Sculpture Factory Residency Award is for excellence in sculpture and fine media, and the award goes to Thomas Lyons. Our next award is the Tom Fox Exhibition Award for Excellence in Fine Art. The award will be presented by Ms. Simone Fox. And the Tom Fox Exhibition Award goes to Patricia Gormley Taylor. Our final award today is the Allied Irish Bank's Ceramic Design Award, presented by Patrick Ranahan of AIB. The Allied Irish Bank's Ceramic Design Award is for excellence shown on the BA Honours degree in Design Ceramics. And the award goes to Karen Hendy. Could we end by thanking you all for the manner in which you've participated in this conferring ceremony? It's been great fun for us as well, I must say. And those hats don't have to stay on your heads. The official photographers are located at the Millennium Theatre, which is at the front of the building, in case you're looking for photographs later on. You're also invited to join us for some light refreshments afterwards with your guests in the Scholars Restaurant, which is the next glass building down here below us. I now declare this conferring ceremony closed. Please stand for the academic procession.
Yeah.